What if one decision made in the quiet of your room, in the middle of your rock bottom, could change everything? Not a plan, not a guarantee, just a decision. A decision to pack your bags, take a risk, and go into the great unknown. Today's guest and my co host, Litha Meyile Choi, knows exactly what this feels like. After years of unemployment and rejection in South Africa, Litha said, you know what? Goodbye, South Africa, and took a literal leap of faith right to South Korea.
I was still unemployed. And I was just like, I was feeling very frustrated. And I was like, I could feel myself going into a very deep depression. At that point, I was done. I was like, I need to leave South Africa.
What started out as a survival move ended up turning into the adventure of a lifetime. From teaching English abroad in Korea to becoming a beloved beauty content creator, Litha's journey is really a masterclass in betting on yourself, even when the odds are stacked against you.
First of all, I get emails, collaboration emails every single day.
And one thing about you, you're like a lover girl.
I'm a lover girl. I love love. And I look at I'm a waaaaaf.
This isn't a story about changing your location. It's a story about changing your life. And before we get right into that, for those of you who are new here, I just want to say hi. My name is Bokang. You can call me B if you like. And you might want to subscribe to officially become part of our family. Listen, guys, this is the best way to help support the show. Make sure we're able to bring you more conversations with even greater guests, and obviously share, but we'll get into that a little bit later. For now that we've done all the pleasantries, let's get into this conversation because it is so good. So without further ado, this is From Unemployed to Unstoppable according to Litha Meyile Choi. Okay, you know what my favorite thing about you right now is that like every time you laugh, I get the ring.
Of course.
The wife?
It must be known I'm a waaaaaf.
Darling.
I feel like it should be public knowledge by now.
Okay.
That I'm a waaaaaf.
We need the close up on the rock. On the rock.
I love it. I'm so
How
obsessed
are
with
you,
it.
my girl?
I'm so good. It's been a while.
It's been literally years.
It's been years. It's been literal years.
But
I'm
you
so
know what?
happy
It
to
also
see you.
doesn't really feel like it because I literally saw you yesterday and the day before and the day before because you are all on my FYP, on my TikTok. And I'm
Period.
enjoying every single second of your wild adventure. And so I'm
thank
so
you.
excited to like get into everything, you know? All things Litha.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so excited and nervous. I'm so excited though.
Okay, so before we start and get into the actual your story and stuff, we're gonna do a little 10 out of 10 recommend where we're just sharing what we're enjoying, our faves in different categories, all right?
Okay.
So we have to start with beauty because you
Well,
are the
duh.
beauty gal.
What?
Okay, so
Yes.
Lisa, what are you loving? What can you recommend for the girls when it comes to makeup?
When
or
it comes
beauty?
to makeup, okay, so right now I'm really loving the natural look.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I feel like sometimes when I want a full glam look,
Yeah.
can become too much sometimes, especially with the lashes and everything. It's like it takes a long time. But I'm also someone who wears glasses, right? So I feel like sometimes doing the whole full glam can be a bit too much. So
Yeah.
I just love minimal and maybe, just some mascara here and there, but nothing hectic. I'm really loving the
Yeah.
natural look now. I'm kind of, going back a bit when it comes to the full glam. I'm loving
Going
that
back
right
to
now.
you.
Going
keeping
back
it
to
simple and
me.
easy.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about you because you can like go the full glam and then you can also do no makeup whatsoever. The skin is skinning.
Yes, I'm talented.
Okay, my beauty rec is also something that you do. Basically, it's like get into your own maintenance, learning to do some of the things. So whether it's a wig, for me, it's my hair. I will braid my own hair because one, I'm not paying that money.
Yeah,
And
it's too
two, I can do it whenever, when you're walking and then a braid just falls
Yeah,
out. Girl, I will put it back in.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know also your nails, that's something that
Yes,
you do
I
for
do my
yourself.
own nails. I do my own nails.
See, I need to get there.
It's pretty easy though. Like when
Yeah.
you first press-ons are quite easy because it
Okay.
already comes with like the
Yeah.
gel and everything like that. But to make them last,
Yeah.
I had to really also do my research and see people on YouTube and they put their process, how they do their nails and everything.
Yeah.
And so now I just do my own nails. It's pretty easy. It doesn't take more than 1 hour, actually, maybe even 30 minutes to do my nails. It's really, really easy. And I can choose any patterns that I want. I can do, like I am happy at the end of the day because I choose everything myself. I know it's gonna, if the outcome is bad, it's okay. I did it.
And you can take it right off and do it again.
And do it again.
I love the flexibility of it all as well.
That's what I really love about it. Yeah.
Okay, I need to get into the nails. All right, fashion girl. What are you loving fashion-wise? You're like, what am I loving?
Okay, so I have lost a couple of kilos, so I feel like
you
now,
have. We're gonna get into that too.
Yes, so now I feel like I've had to really like change a lot in my closet, things that I wear, and also the weather now in Korea. We are leaving winter now; it's going into spring, so I might need to go in and get some new sundresses because maybe the ones I have won't fit me anymore.
Yeah,
but I'm really loving like a very, as you can see, this cute like leather. I love a leather look, and then like with like leggings or
where did
something
you get
very
this jacket?
tight.
By the way,
I got it on Shein.
Okay,
it's from Shein. I just love something very girly, very simple, and I'm into pumps right now too. That's something I'm into. But I don't go out a lot.
Yeah.
But I think when I am taking, my videos or something like that, I want to look really cute and comfortable. And to me, this is very simple, very
to show up on camera, but also to just feel good.
To feel good, because I don't want to have like layers and layers of clothing. I'm not into that at all.
How do you feel about? Okay, so this is my rec, or what I'm obsessed with is the wide length denim jeans.
Look,
that's the thing. I feel like people either love it or hate it, and I'm like obsessed. I love the baggy, almost like reference to the 90s, early 2000s.
You
wide
know what?
pants,
I
girl.
feel like I don't know. For me, I feel like baggy clothes. I have a problem with big clothes.
You're like,
I have an issue with big clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just feel like for me, my body, it makes me look bigger than I already am, and I feel like I do want to show my. My shape and everything is beautiful. I want to show my body in that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I wear everything is baggy, the top, the shoes, everything is just so big, and the pants, then I feel like I wouldn't be able to see myself.
I get you.
But I do see people who have that look, and it looks really good on them.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't think it would. I would just look so weird.
And I guess it just comes to one, dressing for your body, but also dressing in what you feel good in. Even if this is what's trendy, you don't have to wear it.
Exactly, what you feel comfortable in. And if that look is what you feel comfortable, then that's great. That works for you.
Okay, wellness-wise, you have been on a health fitness journey, girl. Yeah. Oh my gosh, tell us, what are you loving wellness-wise? Yeah.
What am I loving in wellness right now? I am taking it easy.
Okay.
So since I've been on holiday, since I've been here in South Africa, but I am walking a lot. When I get back to Korea and I, have my usual gym routine, I go a little bit harder. I do like sit routines every day in the gym. So for me to still be active, I'm walking a lot, drinking lots of water. But I'm eating whatever I want to eat because I'm at home. I'm in South Africa.
And I'm sure you've missed the food, eh?
I've missed it so much. It's totally different, where I'm at. But I really feel that I need to take care of my body. So no matter what I'm eating, whatever I'm consuming, I need to be able to just walk it off, just move my body and not just be stuck in one place. So that's something that I'm really into right now is walking. It's quite important,
No, I absolutely love walking as well. For me, my go-to form of exercise, because I think similarly to how we're talking about like dressing with what works for you, it's similar with exercise, do what works for you. So I realize I'm not a high intensity. No, girl, I get tired. Now I leave the gym and I'm like, I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
So I really love Pilates. It's low impact, but I also just do the classes because I'm like, tell me what to do. Because sometimes when I'm just there and there's the machines and the weights, then I get like a bit, So, but like, no, Pilates has been really great for me. And I'm seeing like, I think more for me rather than getting specific results, it's about feeling a specific way.
Feeling good,
exactly. And like, what is going to get me to show up for myself every day? And that's just been my thing. So that would definitely be my wellness rec.
Yes, that's good.
And then our last category, we have internet stuff. What online? Because we're both like online girlies.
Yeah, we're currently online.
So what are you watching? What are you consuming?
What am I watching right now and consuming? I'm loving a lot of family content. I don't know why. I think it's so cute.
You're getting into that era soon.
I think it's because I'm getting into that. I don't know. I think it's really cute. But also I love when it's done in a very authentic way.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be like, I don't want to consume content where maybe I feel maybe a child or, you know, someone younger is like
Yeah.
being taken advantage of or something like that, because we know with a lot of like internet, you know, sometimes parents can take advantage of the kids when they don't feel like being on camera and stuff. So I love a lot of family content that's very authentic and very, you know, just cute and just amazing, and also about the parents as well, and not just, you know, about the children, just as a family unit. I love that. I think it's really it's what I'm into right now. I really like it. It's so cute and amazing. And beauty things, of course.
Of course, always.
Beauty things, of course. I love seeing other beauty content creators because I get so much inspiration.
Yeah, of course.
Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know, like, what should I talk about? And I'll see, the girlies are talking about like how to style your braids or something like that. So also it gives me some inspiration exactly on what I should also post. I think it's also
Is there a specific beauty creator like you love?
At the top of my head, no.
She's like,
think of anyone right now. No. Not at all. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to like single out anyone.
I get
But
you.
they know who they are because I always like shout them out on my lives and stuff like that. But I don't want to single out anyone right now.
You do lives as well.
I do lives.
Oh my gosh,
it's fun.
Litha.
And then my husband also joins sometimes. He's like loving this thing. I don't want him to get sucked up into this whole, because he's not into content. He's not into content. Yeah. But I see that he gets a little bit excited.
He's like,
and I'm just like, you need to just relax a little.
Just chill for a second there.
Yeah, but he's warming up to it a lot. Like he's so into it and so supportive too.
Love that. I think for me, what I'm enjoying right now is quite in line with today's episode is, okay, I would love to shout out the girls specifically. I just forget their names, but it's the girls who are literally leaving South Africa and going to teach abroad. So there's, other than you, of course, there's this other one. I think her name is Maletsatsi or Male something. What's her name? Matsiriso, yeah. So she's another one who's in Korea right now teaching.
Oh, I know her.
Yes, I've seen you like commenting on her stuff.
I love her content.
Girls.
Yeah.
So I just love seeing. You know, I love you guys going on your adventure, taking this huge leap. You know, and even if it's not something, I don't know. I just feel like I can vicariously live through you guys and experience another environment, another place through a very familiar lens. So I'm really enjoying that. You and Matsiriso. Oh my gosh, why did I forget Matsiriso? That's literally one of my best friend's names. But yes. So those are our recs. On to the meat of the episode. Your story, your journey.
Let's get into it.
I'm
so ready.
So we mentioned like it's been a hot minute since we literally saw each other, since we talked.
Wow.
Girl, I don't even know.
Varsity?
Yes.
Since varsity, right?
Probably.
Yeah, because then, it's been a long time.
And I remember when we were at varsity, you were studying TV. I was studying live performance. And I don't know about you if you had like the same... I was just really delulu. But I literally thought that I would graduate and then, baby,
girl,
hello world.
I thought, I planned my life. I was like, you know what? I'm going to graduate. I'm going to get an audition. Isidingo specifically. I'm going to be on Isidingo because that's what I want. I was like, I'm going to be on Isidingo. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be such a great actress. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to have my own apartment, have my own car. Life was like, girl.
Humbled real quick.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly, because then I was hit with unemployment and I was just like, this is rough.
Yeah.
This is not where I thought I would be. But I'm like, you know what? Let me not just focus on where I'm at and think about where I want to be. And I'm like, this is where I want to be. I saw myself overseas. So I went to this event. And it was like some beauty event. And I went to this event and then there was like a fortune teller there. And this lady. Okay. I'm not really like into that kind of stuff, to be honest. Yeah, let me just try it because she was there. And I was like, okay, let me try it. And she was telling me how she was reading my palm and she was telling me how I'm going to be overseas. Like, I'm going to be traveling.
And you're like, yes, overseas. Oscar.
I'm like, I love it. Hollywood. I'm like, this is great. And I'm like, but I didn't take it too seriously, you know. And then like a year later, I think, and then I thought about going to Korea. I thought about going to China specifically, but it was still lockdown there. Things were very, very rough there. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try Korea. because it was actually quite easy to get into Korea. I didn't have to quarantine or anything like that. And then I thought about Korea and I was like, okay, let me go to Korea. And then
So she was kind of on point.
She was kind of on point that I'm going to be overseas. But
Yeah.
I thought like traveling and like, you know what I mean? Like being on yachts and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe that life is still coming. I don't know.
We're speaking it. It is definitely happening.
Existence. Yes.
Yeah. So how long was your unemployment period for? Because also
100 years. It felt like 100 years. Probably 3 years. I think 3 years. I was unemployed for like a good 3 years.
And the thing is that you were always tweeting about it as well.
Always. But I wasn't even tweeting about it to like get attention or anything like that. It was just like, you know what, I felt like I could offload. And then there were those who were also going through what I was going through. And for some reason, I felt so much better now. I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm not alone in this and everything. And I just felt like I had a bit of a community of people who are also going through this with me. So sometimes it's important to share. You know, not everyone maybe wants to share that on TikTok or Twitter or something like that. But at the time, I thought, oh, you know what, I feel like, because I was just like online, I have nothing else to do. I was like, oh, let me just share to my people, to my community, you know, stuff like that. And asking around if you have any jobs. I am not embarrassed to ask for help or anything like that. And I don't think there should be any shame that comes with being unemployed. It happens to so many of us, you know. So I think it's very important to talk about it and just to know that things will get better. So I just had that in the back of my mind, that my life is going to change. I don't know when. I don't know how it's going to change, but I know that it's going to change for the better. And
Were
I
you
just had
always
that.
like this hopeful and confident during that period? Or
Yes,
did it
even though I was like
really?
going, I was like, that go up, but at the back of my mind, I'm like, no.
You're like, this is not what God has for me.
Yeah, I was like, no, God, like, come on. This is not, I just know this is not what you had planned for me. I just know something is coming, and I just need to be patient. I feel like right now he's teaching me patience. He was teaching me patience at that time. He was teaching me patience when I was teaching these kids. Like, I was just, yeah, man, patience was just the
Patience is
lesson
the
of my life,
word.
really. Because everything really is working out for my good. It is, you know, and I just need to learn to be patient. Yeah.
So then, I mean, there was this almost 3 years period of unemployment. You're like, oh, don't remind me. Where did what was the moment where you're like, no, I actually can't do this anymore. Something needs to change. And then how did that lead to Korea?
I think it was like 2020. When was COVID? 2020?
Yeah,
And then there was like a
2020.
lockdown and everything.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, you know, 2021, I thought things are going to change. I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling hopeful, but I was still unemployed. And I was just like, I was feeling very frustrated. And I was like, I could feel myself going into a very deep depression. And I was just like, I don't like this. This is not Litha. I don't like this. And my friend at the time was in China. And she was telling me I was asking all these kind of questions about China because I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go teach in China. And then I remember she was giving me information, and then she had come back from China. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go to China. So I had done my documents in 2021. But then my documents expired. I wasn't able to go to China. And then I was like, okay, let me think about... So 2022 came, and I was like, okay, let me think about Korea. So China didn't work out. I was like, let me think about Korea. I started doing my own research. I didn't know anyone that was in Korea.
Oh, okay.
There was no one I knew that was in Korea.
Yeah.
So I had to do my own research. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I got the information that I needed. And then that's when I was like, okay, I'm going. So I told my family the week before.
Litha!
They knew I was busy with like my documents and stuff,
they
but
didn't
I
know it
don't think
was-
they knew I was going to leave so soon. So the entire process took like from when I found a recruiter till when I was leaving and I got my school and everything. It was like 3 weeks. Everything was very quickly.
Wow.
It went very quickly. Everything was
Wow.
fast. And then I told them, I'm like, okay guys, I'm leaving next week Thursday. I was like, I'm going to Korea. They were like, what? Like so shocked. But yeah, everything happened so quickly, and I was at that point I was done. I was like, I need to leave South Africa.
Yeah.
And, like, I was done. I was really, really done. I was like, no, I'm gonna lose myself here. And yeah, because the depression that comes with like with unemployment, it's really, really, you feel so helpless as a person. Like, oh, you can't even buy yourself anything. You can't help around in the house. You can't do anything. It really takes a toll on you, I think. And sometimes parents don't really understand. Their words sometimes can also affect that, and you know, they can also have an impact on us. So, but I was just like, you know what? I'm the only one that can get myself out of this situation. There was no one else at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to. And then I remember starting a GoFundMe. And so many of my mutuals, they were helping me, they were donating. I was like, it doesn't even matter even if it's 10, even if it's 5 rand, it's fine. Like, they donated, I raised like 3,000 rand. And yeah, which was
Wow.
quite a lot, because then I was able to finish off my documents and stuff like that. And then there was someone else who had seen me on Twitter, because I posted on Twitter too, my GoFundMe, and said, no, how about you come work at my company teaching online, and then you can raise more money, and then you can leave. And I was like, this is amazing.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Wow.
He's in Korea now. I love him so much. It's amazing. And then, so that's what I did. And then I worked there in Bryanston for about 2 months, I think. And then I had raised enough, and I was able to buy myself suitcases. I was able to just buy the things that I needed to go to Korea. And then I went into Korea. I got into Korea, and then now
The rest is
the
history.
rest is history. And I was like, what? And I had like 2,000 rand when I entered Korea. So I don't even know. I don't know how I survived the first month. It's only by God's grace. I really don't know. I can't even remember how I survived that. But when I got my first salary, I was like, oh, thank goodness. But yeah, it was a tough month. I remember that when I arrived in Korea. But yeah, now I'm just like, wow. And I'm also paying it forward, helping, teachers who need to come to Korea, whether it's information or, no one should be stranded, because I'm in Korea now and I know how hard it is to get there. So I feel like I'm there if they need me. And I think my community knows that as well on social media, that, they know someone now who's in Korea, which is me. So yeah.
Yo, Litha, there's so many points that you made. I
there's a
was
lot.
like, facts, girl. Like, hopefully I can remember them all. But I mean, I love how openly you spoke about like just the toll of unemployment, because I can definitely relate to that, in that, especially when you're an adult and it's been a few years after varsity. Maybe it's like the first or like 2 years. It's like, this isn't working out, but I still have hope. But you grow older and there's just this sort of shame of not being able to like provide for yourself, or not being able to meet certain milestones, where you kind of feel that you're an adult technically, but not really.
And I feel like I've been playing catch up now since I've been working. Like, there's a lot of things that I had a lot of goals for myself, and I'm only able to now fulfill those goals now and to do the things that I want to do now in my like 30s.
Yeah, but now you're also able to like.
I'm 100 years old. Oh my gosh.
Girl,
But it's
you're in
okay.
good company. Okay,
okay.
we're 100 years old then.
It's okay.
But it's also like now you get to experience those things for the first time, but you get
it's
to
amazing.
enjoy them and appreciate them even more, because you're
Yes,
like,
because
damn.
and I've been something I've been wanting for a long time, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm living in an answered prayer. That's crazy.
And then another thing is just like, it speaks to the power of putting yourself out there and speaking things, because that person, your boss, when you were teaching online here, would have never been like, come through here if you hadn't publicly been like, guys, I have my GoFundMe, I'm trying to like, raise money. So it's like, yes, it might be embarrassing, but like you need to put yourself out there.
Yeah, and people wouldn't have known that I'm looking for a job had I not, posted, oh, I'm unemployed, I'm a graduate, I'm looking for a job. So I think we need to just, also as a society, accept those people who feel like, because there's this thing now that the kids are like talking about, oh, it's embarrassing, like, oh God, like you're asking for something, it's so embarrassing. It's like, you really don't know where your blessings are. And you need to be able to put yourself out there. You never know who's watching, who's ready to help you. There are people that are ready to help you, ready to show you and to guide you. And those people are sent by God. And I feel like sometimes if you don't put yourself out there, how are they going to find you?
You're blocking your blessings.
You're blocking your blessings, really. You're blocking your blessings.
So now you're in Korea. My sister, you have 2,000 rand in your account. Literally, that first month. Somehow you survived, right? But like, also, it's a huge culture shock, because we're in South Africa. There's a certain like, although we are like fairly diverse, I think it's a completely different experience to be living in Asia, to be living in Korea, where it's like just, this monolith of Asian people there, and like you kind of stick out, but then there's a whole culture, there's a whole language that you kind of need to be, that you're going to be exposed to. What were some of your first impressions or maybe culture shocks that you experienced when you got there?
When I got there. Okay, so before I left, I told myself, Litha, you need to have a positive attitude. Okay, you don't even know where you're going, actually. You don't know how it is there, but just keep a positive attitude and outlook on anything, on everything. And I kept that. I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, I want to have a positive attitude. I want to have a
Love
different
that.
experience than I had in South Africa. So when I got to Korea, I don't want to lie. I think maybe it was the city I was in. I had such a great experience with even the old people there. The locals were so kind. Like I was living in a city called Goja Island. It's almost like PE, my home city. It's so
Nice.
beautiful there. And the old people are so kind. Everyone is just so kind. So, but the culture shocks I experienced a lot. For me, it was the spitting thing.
Hey, Bo.
So, yeah.
Hey, Bo. Spitting.
So, one of the things where
Educate
they
me,
just,
my sister.
so they just spit like in the street.
Oh, okay.
When you have spit, they just spit it.
Okay.
Whether they're smoking or something, whatever. Anywhere, everywhere. It's that the spitting thing threw me off. I don't want to lie.
Hectic.
It threw me off. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is a lot for me.
This is new.
It's very new for me. And then what else did I experience? Oh, culture shock. Yeah, so the spitting thing, and also I feel when it comes to dating, are we there yet? There was also a culture shock
We
there.
can get into it.
Because I found, yeah, I experienced a lot of culture shocks when it comes to dating as well. I just felt like the Korean men were just kinder to me. I felt, yes, when I
okay.
first got there. So I just
Yeah.
felt like this is totally different because in South Africa, I never experienced something like this, the kindness. It was just something about the kindness and the care that I had never experienced before.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is different. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. And so that's basically like the culture shocks that I had there. But yeah, everything else, I really got used to it. You know, as I was working at my school, I met my coworkers and were really kind to me and taking me out to different restaurants. And I got to also the food is quite bland when you first get there. That's another
Oh,
culture shock. Yes,
okay.
they don't put a lot of spices. You know, with us, the meat and everything must be marinated. The spices and the one
Seasoned, honey.
that is really not a thing in Korea. It's not. They really have a healthy lifestyle there, even when it comes to their food. You know, with us, the deep frying and everything, it's just a lot.
Magwinya.
Everything like it's, and there it's totally different. And I was like, oh, I really kind of like this. Even though in the beginning, though, I was like, oh, I need salt. I would put salt in everything.
Yeah.
But I get it now. I'm like, you know what? Now I understand why they really take care of themselves when it comes to their food and what they put inside their bodies.
All right. So, Litha, you're in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know nobody. How did you go about building a community or making friends? Because I see like on your content, like there's people around, you have friends. How did that happen? Yeah.
So I was lucky enough that on the weekend I arrived. The week I arrived, on that weekend, so I had joined this other group, right, in my city. And there was a young lady there who had said, oh, you just joined? Okay, this weekend we're going to have a gathering.
Wow.
And then I met people that week that I arrived. So I also met other teachers that were new. And as a result, we're still like very close friends. So I was just lucky in that regard that I didn't really have to put myself out there that much to, you know, find friends or find people that I have interest in. It just kind of happened. And at that gathering, it was like a South African gathering. I met so many different teachers and we're still friends today. We still keep in touch. So I love that. I really love it. It's quite easy actually to meet other South Africans there because there are certain groups that are created. So whichever city you are in. So you can also say, oh, I just moved to this city, or I just moved to this city. And then there's someone else, like, oh, I'm there too. And then that's how you kind of meet other South Africans that are in your city as well.
Oh, I love that. And you just being in the group.
Yeah,
really
and just being in the
facilitated
group.
everything.
And then I met them and like it's pretty easy, really.
Yeah. And your experience teaching, I mean, you said that it requires a lot of patience.
It really does.
And obviously, this wasn't ever the plan. Was there ever a moment where you were just like, whether it's teaching related or whether it's just being in Korea and away from your family, where you just questioned whether you made the right decision, or you're just like, I'm not so sure about what I did?
I never had any of that, to be honest.
Wow, yeah.
Because I started really enjoying teaching. Even though the initial plan was not to be a teacher, I grew to love it a lot. And I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. It's actually a really rewarding job. Because I really see my hard work in the children and teaching them. And I was like, this is really good. I really enjoyed it a lot. and it's never about the kids. If you know there's an issue with the job or something like that, it's other factors that go into it. But the kids are always the best part of the job, and I love children. I love working with children. So I kind of did have that thing that, oh, I don't know if will I ever go into like TV again or something like that. But I was like, maybe, who knows? But I'm okay with the unknown. Like, I'm okay with knowing that, oh, I don't know, maybe, or I'm
Yeah.
okay with where I'm at. I was really happy at the time when I was teaching. I was like, no, I'm okay with it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours.
I was about to
It
ask
is.
in
It's a
terms of
lot of
that.
hours because
Yeah.
my first school, I was teaching elementary and middle school kids. So they would come like in the afternoon to the evening. So would leave like around 9:40 p.m., which is a bit late. Yes. So I start working from like 1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. till, so I like working in the afternoons actually
Okay.
because I can do what I need to do in the mornings. So 1:30 to about 9:40. And there was no break. That was my first school. Yeah, no break. So I was like, oh, this is hectic.
That's another culture shock.
That's
I
another
guess.
culture shock actually, because that's another thing. Yes, they work in Korea. They work, like they really, really work. But also
Sure.
they do take time sometimes to like go on vacations and stuff like that. But when it comes to teaching, especially if you're teaching in a private school, the holidays are very limited. It's only a few days. So it's not enough to go home. But if you're teaching in a public school, then you are able to, travel back maybe more than once a year, So for those of us who are working in public school, it's a bit hard to travel and everything. But I really, really enjoy teaching the kids. It was kind of the best part of the job, even though there was other things that were going on. And I told myself, you know what, this is okay. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this for, but I'm like, okay, I'm warming up to this. This is great. It really is. But then it got to a point where I was like, oh, I'm exhausted emotionally and physically because it's a lot. Teaching is really exhausting mentally, and I feel like I need a break. And sometimes the break doesn't come, and you just kind of just have to keep going and keep going and keep going. But I didn't want to get to a point where I have like an emotional breakdown overseas. I really didn't want that, so I found a church.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, I need to, go back to God. I really need to really strengthen my relationship with God. And I started finding a church. And so I did find one. And in the last city I was living in, actually, they had an English ministry. So I was so happy because I was like, oh, now I feel like really, really good. Because I can't speak, I'm not fluent in Korean yet. I'm trying, I'm learning.
Yet we're working on it.
We're working on it. So I was so happy that I found a church that has an English ministry, and I was able to just be very comfortable there and meet others who are also teachers and who are also Christians. So it's really great. It's what's been keeping me grounded really in Korea.
Yo, I love that. I can imagine like you just need that, like you're
Yes,
saying,
you
that
need, because
grounding.
you're far from family.
Yeah.
And yes, you have friends, but we have each other, in my community. So that's also another thing. It also keeps me really going that, oh, I'm really not alone. And now I have a husband, but before my husband, I had my friends, and I still have them. So I'm so grateful for them, really.
And you also have another community, which is your online.
Which is my online community. Like, I'm so lucky. I really, I could never feel like I feel like I'm so blessed. Like, because there are people who are literally rooting for me online, who are rooting for me, like, in my life, in my personal life. But it's amazing. I feel this love, and I feel like it's the energy that I give out. I always want to be positive. I always want to be helpful. And I feel like it comes back to me somehow. And I really love that.
No, I mean, there's so many blessings. It's definitely come back to you, girl. Yeah. Speaking of your online community, like throughout your whole journey, you've been documenting and obviously sharing, and things really popped off for you on TikTok, now on YouTube as well. So much so that like you're doing this full time, right?
Yes.
You're no longer
doing it full
teaching
time now. Well, I might go back to I'm not sure
Okay,
yet. I might, but
okay.
if I do go back to teaching, I will be doing it part time.
Yeah, you got both. You have the options now.
So the first time I was doing it, I was teaching full time and then doing content creation part time, and now I feel like I'm going to switch it.
So how did the content thing come about? Was it just like naturally and easy for you to share the journey when you're like, okay, I'm leaving, let me actually just document this? Or was it something that just happened along the way?
Okay, so before I left SA, I was I was a plus size model, and I was doing a bit of content creation. I don't know if it was content creation, if I should call it that at the time, but I was doing something similar to that. And then when I got the job in Korea, I was like, okay, I should focus just on this new job, and I should just put that to rest. So I got to Korea, and then I don't know why, but I just started documenting my journey going to Korea. So there are those who know, like on my Instagram, I was uploading everything I was eating in the new week, like things like that. And so I decided to just document that then on TikTok. And then there was, I think, like I don't know, I got a wig or something like that. And I decided to document that too. And then all these brands like started like DMing me and emailing me because like it blew up. I was like, what is going on? My friend was like, no, Litha, you're supposed to be doing this content creation. You're supposed to be seen, girl. I wanted to be a mysterious girl so badly. I wanted to
never, please, no.
I wanted to be mysterious so badly. And then she's like, no, you have to be seen. You actually have to be seen. And so that's kind of how it just started with me just sharing my journey in Korea, my first week, my second week, also my dating life in Korea, just all those things that have to do with Korea, the food, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then that's how it just became this thing now. Like,
You're like,
so
how did this
amazing.
happen?
I don't know.
Yeah. But a fixture or a feature or something that's like become really popular on your page is your Makeup Saturday.
Makeup Saturday.
Tell us about that, girl, because hey, when I see that, I just scroll because I'm like, I don't want you to tell me to get up and do my makeup.
So I just love makeup. I've always loved makeup. It's always been a thing. Like I used to do eyebrow tutorials on Twitter. It was like a thing I used to do, but I never really thought about like doing tutorials like on YouTube or anything like that or on TikTok, because now TikTok is my main platform. But the more I started doing videos on TikTok, I was like, oh, I should add this element because I do this anyway. Let me just film it. And so I started doing this Makeup Saturday thing where it's just about self-care and just like loving yourself and self-love and just taking time to yourself. For me, it's makeup and doing my hair and looking really good. For someone else, it's totally something different, But for those who really love beauty, want to get into it, and for those who also wanted to learn makeup and, want to practice and everything. So I did some tutorials for them as well. So it just became like a very cutesy thing and nothing too deep, nothing too hectic, just a fun thing. And then I started like shouting at everyone, like, you guys have to do your makeup. It's Makeup Saturday. And then now it's like a thing, which I really love. It's so cute.
Yeah, like it's a thing that people can look forward to.
Yeah. It's something good. Positive.
So another thing you mentioned that you shared was your dating life. And I know we definitely want to know what the realities of dating in Korea have been like. Because again, people think like, oh, I'm going to go
they think
like
it's K-drama life there. That's what they think.
So talk to us a little bit about that. What were some of your first kind of overall experiences like dating?
So I am someone who's very open-minded. And I just told myself, you know what?
Wait, you're saying you're open-minded, like...
In the sense that when it comes to dating, like I don't have a type. Let me say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So even here, you were like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I was open-minded, I'm a very open-minded person, I think. I'm open to new things. So same thing when I went to Korea, I was like, you know what? Even when it comes to dating, let me have an open mind because you never know.
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought I was going to date Korean men. I'm not one of those people that are into K-dramas, that are into K-pop. I promise you. The first thing I ever heard about like K-pop and BTS is my students. They told me about all of that. I had no idea. So it never even crossed my mind that I could ever date a Korean man. But I feel like if I had moved to Germany or if I had moved anywhere, I would be dating German men. If I moved to Brazil, I would be dating Brazil men because I'm open-minded like that. But I thought, you know what? Let me try.
Let me see what they're about
Let me see what they're about because I know nothing about Korean men. I was like, you know what? I'm in Korea. Why not? And so I use dating apps. Oh, dating apps are the pets. But you know what? There's no other way to meet people because I'm new to the country. How else am I going to meet someone,
True.
Whether it's friends, whether it's, anyone. So I, went on a few apps and then, I started going on dates. But this was maybe like a few months after I arrived. It wasn't immediate because I still needed time to like settle in. And, I dated, so my first Korean boyfriend... I was like, because it was so nice. That was that's what made me. I was like, okay, I should give Korean men a chance because he was really nice. So I felt like he was different from the rest. And then, I dated him and I was like, oh, this is really nice. He's really nice. I was like, oh, he's really kind. And so that's where it started. me being open to dating Korean men.
Yeah.
And then I started dating. And now it's going to seem like I'm out here, I'm for the streets. But
No, you're literally dating.
But I was literally just dating, just going on dates, you know, because
Yeah.
I only had like, 2 or 3 relationships, since I've been in Korea. So I just started going on dates, but then I also started meeting other foreigners there. So I started also seeing, you know, people from West Africa also and Americans and, you know, like a variety of people.
Now you get to see worldwide. What
I was
are like the
this
different
is
kinds
great.
of guys?
This is something new, you know? And then I kind of discovered what I like.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm happy here. I know my heel now. I was like, okay.
And one thing about you, you're like a lover girl.
I'm a lover girl. I love love. Like, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's like one of the great things about life. Like, why? It doesn't matter. I can meet someone and I'm like, I love you. It's like, I love you too. And then, if it ends tomorrow, that's fine.
But you lived. And
I
you
loved and I loved.
fullest.
Even if it was a day, it's fine. I can meet somebody else. I honestly did not take it seriously when it comes to it. I was not like, oh my God, and he break my heart. Nope. On to the next. On to the next. I was like, I'm here to have fun, enjoying my youth. And I was dating also with intention. I got to a point where I was dating with intention. I was like, okay, now I need to I want to get married.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to get married now. So I'm trying to find my husband. So anyone I'd meet and I'd be like, oh, they don't fit. Okay, bye. My husband would never talk to me like that. My husband would
you're
never
a wife.
Yeah. And now I'm a wife, you know?
Yeah.
I was very quick to move on and, you know, to block people who I feel like, no, this person's not for me, I think.
And I think onto that point, there was a TikTok of yours. This was even before you met your fiance. And you were like, guys, no, listen, from now on, I'm going to be very intentional. By, I think it was going to be this time next year. You're like, I'm going to be married. You said, I'm going to be doing content full time. And literally, lo and behold, life and death in the power of the tongue. It came to be. And you literally...
I manifested that. That's insane. Like, I was telling my friends beginning of 2024, mind you, I was single. I had no prospects. There was no one. I was like, oh, I'm going to be married by the end of this year, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I know what I want. I'm like, I'm going to be married by the end of this year. I'm going to be doing content full time. I'm like, yeah, that's my life. And they believe me. My friends believe me because I'm someone who's, like, I manifest everything. I'm someone I'm very serious about that. And then, yeah. And I look at I'm a waaaaaf. It's crazy. I can't believe, sometimes I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. And I always say to him, like, oh, I love my life. And he always laughs at me when I say that. But I'm like, because I can't believe this is actually happening, even though this is the life that I wanted, the life I prayed for, I manifested for, I worked hard for. And it's only the beginning.
This
is only the beginning.
Honestly.
So I'm just like, wow, it's going to get better.
What more?
It's going to get better.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, really.
And I mean, speaking of this man, how did you guys, first of all, how did you meet? And
I love him so much.
Where did this man come into your life? And then what made you realize that this one's different?
This is the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I met him on an app.
Okay.
This app is a language learning app. It's called Hello Talk, and it's very popular in Korea. So there are those who want to learn Korean, and then they go on there, and then those who want to learn English. So I was there to learn Korean, right? And he was there to learn English, to improve his English skills. I didn't know anything about Korean. So I was like, let me go on this app and meet some people who can maybe help me. And then we matched, okay? And it was just very, very friendly in the beginning. And we matched and we were speaking on the phone every single day for 2 hours.
Wow.
For a week. And then he's like, no, I have to meet you. But I was not thinking anything romantic on my side. Now, I don't know about him. But on my side, I was not thinking anything romantic, to be honest. Oh, I met a nice friend, a Korean friend. I'm like, this is great. And then he drove 3 hours because at the time we're living 3 hours apart. So he drove 3 hours and we went to some coffee shop and everything. And then we started dating that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what about that first meeting made you feel
I have no idea, but I felt like I've known him my whole entire life. Everything was amazing. The conversation was amazing. And then, yeah. And then he left and then he came back the next day to see me again.
3 hours
3
again.
hours again.
No, mind you, it's 3 hours there, 3 hours back, 3 hours
and then
again.
he came back again. And
Wow.
he's like, I have to see you again. And then, since then, we've been together ever since. Like, every weekend since then. He would drive 3 hours to come and see me every weekend. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's so far. You really don't have to. It's like, nope, I'm coming to see you.
Because
And I just love the fact that he goes to church. I love that he's a Christian. I just love that. I love that element. I love that about him. And I think we just connected in that way. I think it was just, I don't know. He's just so great, and we just get each other. I love that. I feel so safe and comfortable with him, and he feels that way about me too. So I think just everything just happens so naturally. It doesn't even feel like we are taking the next step or anything like that. It feels so natural. Like, even when we moved in together and we started living together, everything feels so natural.
Wow.
Like, I love that. It's just like it's a natural step for us to take in our relationship. And I just love that he just knew from the beginning,
I'm sure before he even met you, before he made that first trip, he was like, this one.
Yeah,
definitely.
maybe. But then he got to know me and he saw maybe my personality, and I was like, wow. And then, we started dating that day.
Have there been any like intercultural differences or like challenges or things that you guys have to like learn about each other or get used to? Because I mean, you're from South Africa.
Yeah.
You grew up a certain way. He's from Korea. He grew up a certain way.
Yes, of course. But it's been so fun. Like, it's been so fun to discover those things about ourselves. Like, when we went to eat for the first time, and and I was eating the meat with my hands. So he was like, "You eating with your hands?" And I'm like, yeah. And imagine we're eating like the soup bone thing. So, like, for them cuckoos, they're like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to get the meat. So now he does that now, but he didn't do it before. And he was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? This African girl, what is she doing? Maybe he thought that. And then, but he was eating all the chops. I'm like, how can you eat meat? How are you going to get the meat in there? But anyway, that's one of the things, like, we really discovered about each other. But he's, like, so fine with it now. And he's with his hands now. Like, he's used to it now. But yeah, it's been really fun to discover those things about each other. Like, it's been such an amazing process, I think. And it doesn't just stop. Like, it's we ever discovering things about each other all the time. Like, that's so cool. There's always something new that I find. Because there's another thing we love to do together is we go to museums a lot. So I've learned so much about his culture through those going to the museums and going on those dates. It's been so much fun, and I discovered so many things about him as well. And I'm like, this could be your great-great-great-grandfather. And he's like, okay, he's not even phased. I'm the one that's like so into this whole thing, and he's like not even interested one bit. But it's been really fun, and he's also so interested in my culture as well. He wants to come to South Africa so badly, but yeah, when we have the time, he will. He's definitely going to come and visit my family. And yeah, he's just always so happy and excited to learn, discover new things about me.
I love that. Another thing you spoke about was just in terms of dating culture that you mentioned was Korean women specifically. What is something that you've learned from how they navigate the dating scene?
They don't settle. Like, I feel like Korean women do not settle, and I love that about them.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they want. They know how they want to be treated, and they're very strict in that. And I think that's such an amazing thing. And I've picked that up from them. I think that when you see someone who's not treating you well, or, don't make excuses for them and be like, no, because that's not what you want. So why do you keep making excuses for them?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, bye. On to the next one. They'll go and find someone else who will treat them the way they want to be treated. And I think every girl should have that attitude. I think it's perfect. It's great.
No, for sure. They have their standards.
Yeah, they have their standards.
Yeah, and similarly to you, when you had your standard and you were like, I'm going to be intentional, you didn't even go looking.
I didn't go looking. I was done. The thing is, I was done with dating. And then I just had that app. I was like, I'm so done with men. I hate men. I was like that. And then I met him. Imagine. And I was like, wow. Because I was just like, I remember, I didn't even tell my friends, I think, until like later. Because I was just like, oh, it's going to end or something. I was feeling like, oh, it's going to end or something like that.
This is too good to be true.
This is too good to be true. I'm like, no, this man is too into me. Like, what's happening here? is it love bombing? I don't know. Let's see, after 2 months, it's going to go down. And yeah.
it lasted.
And it didn't. So I'm just like, wow, that's amazing.
So, Litha, do you see yourself building a life in Korea and living there for good now, or gonna do more traveling? Because now you are getting married, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, you left here for a new adventure, but is the next chapter of the adventure, you know, being Korea for good?
I didn't before. So my plan before, I was going to teach in Korea for about 2 years and then like go to another country and maybe teach or something else. And then once I met him, I was like, oh, but I'm also not staying in Korea because of that. He's part of the reason. But there's so many opportunities when it comes, especially this content creation. I had no idea that I was going to be doing so well in Korea. I honestly had no idea. And so I was like, wow, this is really great for my career now. This is perfect for me because if I go to another country, then maybe I have to start from scratch. And then I don't know how it's going to be there. Maybe the content creation scene is not so big. So I feel like I'm in the glass skin capital of the world, you know, and I feel like, wow, I cannot leave this. Like there's so much that could come from this. So I made that decision. I should get to a point. I thought, okay, I'll get to a point where I'm done teaching and then I will pursue, you know, the whole skincare content creation thing because it's really big in Korea.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like such a massive market, and you are
is.
also different. Like you're completely niched, and you're
Yes.
different from all the other big creators there. So you could really build something for
Definitely.
yourself.
And a lot of the brands are now, you know, really going diverse in terms of their casting when it comes to people they work with, the influencers they work with. So it's a good thing that I'm there now, I think. I think it's amazing. I think when I've got my first like skincare brand deal and it was this money was more than my teacher salary. And then I was like, okay, this is something I can take seriously. This is not a joke. Like, imagine if I do this full time, then it could really be something that I could grow with and it become really big. It could be something that I do full time as a career. But I didn't really think, oh, I will do it as a career. I could do many things. But I was just like, no, man, the market here is really, really good. And it was totally different from when I was here in South Africa. And then I was like, okay, this is something that I could definitely do. And yeah, and I now I'm doing it and it's doing really well. So I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Do you think you're in a better position as a South African content creator in Korea versus being
Definitely,
here?
without a doubt.
Oh, really? Tell us more
Without a
about
doubt,
that.
because I feel, first of all, I get emails, collaboration emails every single day. Like every day, maybe I'll get like 10 to 20, maybe every single day. And then obviously I will go through every single email and check, you know, everything. But I feel like because it's such a bigger market there when it comes to that, there's so many more opportunities. So that's why even some teachers they're also now pursuing content creation, stuff like that, because there's a market for it. And now they're opening up to a lot of foreigners now because they're trying to, you know, reach a global status and things like that. So that's why I'm like, wow, this is a lot. I had no idea how big of a market it was until I was like, oh, they're interested in little old me? Like, really? Oh, this is good. This is something that maybe I could do full time. And I was like, wow, I should definitely stay in Korea. Yeah, that was like the main thing that made me want to stay in Korea. I was like, okay.
Wow.
And then of course, meeting my husband.
They. So
Yeah.
how has the full-time thing been going for you now from the beginning of the year where you
A
officially decided?
lot of pressure, a lot of work.
Really?
Because when I get back now to Korea, I have a lot of videos to shoot and everything. So there is a lot, which is good. I'm very grateful for that I'm going to be busy and I'm going to be doing something. It's not just about the financial aspect of it, but I'm genuinely happy when I'm making videos. Like, I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like, oh, I'm going to work. And like, I'm really, really happy and excited. It brings me joy to create videos and share that with everyone because it's coming from a positive place, you know? And so I love doing that. I want to do that. And that's why I want my main platform, which is TikTok, to be all about positivity and to be about joy and to be about love and to be just about the good things about life. I want that. So I'm so excited for this new journey as a full-time. It's not going to be easy because it's a lot. And also when you work for yourself, you need to really, really work really hard because there's not like a set income that you get every single month. So I really need to work incredibly hard. And yeah, I'm so proud of myself.
No,
I
girl,
can do
I
it.
have no doubt that you're gonna just soar. Like, I'm so excited for you, and I'm like, listen, would love to have you
excited.
back in South Africa. Don't come back.
Yeah.
Or
I
at
don't
least
want
milk
to.
it for as long
I
as
wish I
you
could
can, you know?
take my mom to Korea
Yeah.
with me. Oh, I really wish
Yeah.
I could. But yeah, who knows in the future maybe.
And it's also like just so crazy to see how, you know, when you lived here, where you were like, oh my gosh, I just need something, to
right?
now being in a position where it's like, I am over inundated with all these emails and all these opportunities.
It's overwhelming. I used to tweet like, "Oh, I need a new wig," and I've got like a million wigs now that I didn't have to pay for, and I'm just like, this is just one of God's blessings. This is amazing. Like, it's crazy. And I used to like think about just getting a new phone or something. It used to be something that was just so hard for me. Just the smallest thing to someone else could be very big, but I used to be like, I have to work extra hard to get something so small. And now I'm just like, I get it so easily, and I'm just like, wow.
I'm not gonna lie, you have blown my mind, Lita. Like, just you even being here, I'm just like, wow.
I'm so happy
I'm
to
in
be here.
disbelief, but I'm also just so happy for you and like so inspired by your journey. And I hope that people on the other side of this conversation can get whatever it is that they need from this as well, and that you're doing something so important just by showing up and just by sharing. My last question is that if there was anyone else that's maybe listening to this, kind of just in a place where they feel that they're stuck, or they're just waiting for something to happen, or hoping and praying, and maybe are considering making a drastic decision, whether it's upping and leaving everything that they know, whether it's finally chasing the dream, pursuing the one thing they've always done, even if it doesn't make sense, what would you say to that person that's just kind of like, I really don't know?
Sure, I don't want to get emotional, but honestly, it's really tough to pull yourself out of a very dark place. It's not an easy thing, especially when you don't have support or anything like that. But anyone who is thinking of traveling, or trying to change their life, keep going. Like, keep going, and don't forget, God is with you. No matter what, no matter where you are, God is with you, and keep praying. And don't listen to what people are saying. A lot of people were saying stuff about, don't go there, don't go to China, don't do this. Now, had I listened to those people, where would I be today? Stand in your values, stand in your goals, stand in your truth, and don't let anything or anyone waver that. And just know that you have a better life that's waiting for you, and just be positive, have a positive attitude. It's so hard. I know. I've been there, because when everything is just dark around you, like, there's no way there's ever going to be light. There's no way. It's impossible. I thought that as well, but I don't know. I don't know if it was faith that kept me going, but I just knew that my life, this is not where it ends. There's more for me, and I know that God is with me, and it doesn't matter what anyone says. Everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. And so just keep going, and always try your best, and it works out for you. Life gets better. Oh my God, it gets so good. Yeah. I don't want to get emotional, but life gets really, really, really good. It really does. So just keep going, and keep working on yourself and improving yourself and your life, and you will see your life will change. It will become something you have never imagined. God will bless you far more than you could ever expect, ever. Just keep an open mind, always. Oh my gosh, why am I crying?
Because you have lived what you're saying. You are a
I can't even
testimony
believe
right
I'm
now.
even talking about it right now, because I'm like, man, if someone had told me I would be in this position right now, I would be like, yeah, right. Like, really?
Now look.
Like, what? And there's more. There's still more. The good is coming. The good is coming. The good is coming. The good is coming. And I know how hard it is to look for a job. I've been there. I know. People will ask you, did you apply? Did you do this? That time, there's nothing you haven't done. There's nothing you haven't done. There's no job that I haven't had. I've tried it all, because I want to succeed. I want a better life for myself. And if you have that, I'm telling you, whether you believe in God, the universe, whoever is looking out for you, good things are going to come. They will. It just takes a while for us sometimes, but just don't give up. Just don't. That's not an option. Take a break, but don't give up. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Litha.
Thank you for having me.
This girl. Oh, all the way from Korea.
Wow.
The vibe. We will be locked into your TikTok
Thank
to see
you.
the
I
rest
had so
of your
much
journey. And yay!
Thank you so much for having me. I'm
Girl,
so happy to be here.
I'm so happy we could do this.
Thank you.
Who else is about to go book a flight? Where am I going? Actually, I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just booking a flight. That's what Litha has inspired me to do, to take life by the hands and just take a risk and live. So whether you are in the exact same position as Litha or maybe just in a place where you feel stuck, I really love her ending sentiments and really just encouraging us to just go for it. We have one life. Let's go for it. And you know what else you should do with as much vigor and passion is share this episode. Okay, share this episode with someone that you feel like might appreciate it, with someone that you feel like needs to hear this, or just to help a sister out, you know, just to be like, you my girl. I'm gonna get the word out there because we need that. Okay, we need that. The more the merrier, period. All right, guys, other than that, is there anything else I want to say? I need to go check my flight, darling. OR Tumble, here I come. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.